Hi, I'm Sarah, a service designer with Deloitte Digital, and I'm here to get us thinking about who we might be leaving out. I'm by no means the first person to think about this. There are many great thinkers and doers who've come before me, and if I can share some of their wisdom with you today, I'll hopefully be doing them some justice. Now, these include Victor Papanak, who wrote Design for the Real World 50-odd years ago, and while the world is constantly in motion and things have changed remarkably in that time, this statement still rings true. The only important thing about design is how it relates to people, and how you relate your design to people. Because like Spider-Man, designers have a disproportionate amount of power, and with great power comes great responsibility. We can choose to be conscientious designers, recognizing that responsibility, or we can be ignorant of its impact, or worse. Now, the worse is design that is intentional in its exclusion of whole communities of people, like the low bridges built over New York highways in the 1920s that prevented buses from traveling these routes. These were pioneered by Robert Moses to purposely exclude people from poor communities traveling to New York's parks and beaches. While that was an intentional act, an outright abuse of power, sometimes as designers we can simply lack awareness of who our designs are failing or leaving out. And that includes people like this lovely hand dispenser here. It isn't broken, it's working exactly as it's supposed to, exactly as it was designed. So what I try to think about as a designer, and what I think can help keep us all on track, day to day, project to project, component to component, is the absence of inclusive design accessibility and what that can look like and feel like for people. Because I think it feels like bullying. Bullying is repeated or unwanted negative behaviour against another person or group of people that can cause harm or make someone feel helpless or isolated. Inaccessible design can feel like bullying. It can also feel like this. Oh my God. Just an absolute F you. You are not welcome here. My business, my product, my service, it's just not for you. You don't get to show up or participate or have any sense of autonomy here. Because all it takes is a single step to prevent someone from participating. Now, this is referencing a physical environment, but as designers, we spend so much of our time invested in digital products and services, we can be guilty of designing in these steps and not thinking about the digital ramps that will ensure everyone can engage with our products and services. Something as seemingly innocuous as a checkbox, input field, link, button, icon, font, or even our brand colours could be blocking people from using our products or services. And I know that can be daunting and feel a little restrictive to designers. A little scary too, with all those EU rules and regulations that are looming ahead of us. And I can't go into that in great detail in 15-second slides, unfortunately. But what I can say is that while it can feel challenging, it doesn't have to be head-wrecking. It's about coming back to basics, the foundations of design. Form follows function. If anyone, cannot use our services because of poor accessibility or lack of inclusive thought, then we're not doing good design. Now, booking a ticket to the movies can show us one aspect of inaccessible design. Here, colour alone is used to signify key information around pricing and seating to customers. And this is the sea of beige you get if you're colourblind, of which 1 in 12 males in Ireland are. We have a legal obligation and moral responsibility to do better, particularly if working in the public sector in Ireland, where we're designing for 5.255 million people. Our users can't go elsewhere if our services fail them. And 22% of those users have disabilities. So for every 5 people in this room, 1 of us has a disability. And as an ageing population that we just talked about, all of us are losing our abilities in different ways. So we need to design for everyone, including our future selves. And if that doesn't inspire you, there's also the commercial impact. So 75% of disabled people and their families have walked away from a UK business because of poor accessibility or customer service. And UK businesses lose approximately £2 billion a month by ignoring the needs of disabled people. Now, one thing we shouldn't ignore is the lasting impact of inclusive design. In the early 19th century, Pellegrino Turri invented the first ever version of the typewriter with his blind partner so they could share secret love letters without relying on other people. Now I know it's cute, this humble typewriter paved the way for today's modern keyboards, which we're so familiar with we don't even think about its accessible origins. The same is true of closed captioning and similar innovations. That was intended to support access and inclusion for one person or community that was extended for the benefit of many. So try not to think about accessibility regulations as restricting us as designers, but instead opening us up to tap into everyone's potential. Ask yourself, who am I leaving out? Explore how to design for that one person who's traditionally been ignored, isolated, bullied, denied autonomy, and who still often continues to be disabled by design in society today. Because if we can design for that one person or community and extend that design for the benefit of many, then we're being truly inclusive and innovative, and that's good design. Got it. Thank you.
Amazing. Thank you, Sarah. That was perfect timing.